And we are now live. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. I am Ant Pruitt, and this is our weekly hangout on air with the smartphone photographers community. We like to call it Point and Shoot. Welcome, and we appreciate you coming in and checking us out. This is the community here on Google Plus where we firmly believe that your smartphone, these little things here, can take some amazing photographs. You don't have to spend the hundreds and thousands of dollars you do on a point and shoot or a DSLR camera. Just use your phone you carry around all day long, and you get some good stuff out of it. Trust me, you will. We got a couple members in here tonight, as we normally do. Joining us, we got Mr. Michael King. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Doing a lot better than I did this time last week.
Yeah, last week was a little rough for you, bro. I'm glad you got past that.
Yeah, and then the wife went in the hospital.
Oh man, jeez.
Because of this is brought on from a wreck she had many years ago. She had a mild heart attack.
Oh man.
It was from a block. I mean, from what you call it, a blood clot from the accident back in the 20 years ago. It finally it said this could happen
Anytime. Wow.
She's doing fine. She's doing marathons now.
Okay.
In other words,
she's getting better.
Walks around everywhere, so she's doing great.
Good. Glad to hear that, my man, and speedy recovery to her. Appreciate you coming out as usual.
Yeah.
Next,
always end up.
My man, Robert Knight. What's happening?
It's Thursday. I'm actually Monday, so everything will be better Monday.
Everything will be better Monday because that on-call phone goes out of your possession. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, the phone never goes out of my possession, but the responsibility does.
Yeah. Nice. Appreciate you joining us this week.
And there's the Sweeney.
We got Mr. MacGyver here on the green screen. You guys see a green screen?
There we go.
Yep. There it is.
What's going on, Mr. Sweeney?
Just another day in paradise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming out. We're just getting started here. Just about 2 minutes ago, if that. For the folks watching this, I appreciate you watching. I'm going to try to keep this show as short as possible because right now it's freaking hot here in Chateau Ghetto. It's been 100 degrees.
Oh, where is it?
You know, the problem is not only that, it's my desktop down here. It's kicking out so much heat because
Why, did you finally upgrade to a Mac?
The hangout on air, man. Oh, jeez. Man, it's blowing some heat. Y'all gonna see me over here.
Aren't you glad you opened the door for me now?
Yeah, let's go and just give you the boot right now, sir. I'm gonna keep my trusty water beside me so I don't dehydrate here on air.
Oh, I thought that was clear water, yeah.
No shine in there, no hooch. All right. This week we have a interesting challenge, so to speak. Here, it was themed off of connections, and they said to just use your own interpretation of it. And we had fairly decent participation, and we got 13 shots submitted. I saw one common theme in these, but I liked how some of the other ones went out of the box and showed their own interpretation of connection. So what we'll do is we'll go through and highlight some of the challenge participants, and then we'll also get into a few other things that that was shared in the community this week, and give a few more tips and tricks, or even some more little hacks that somebody has found. Sounds good to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Good. Drive!
All right, so let me turn on my screen share here.
And watch it crash.
No, we're going to have success
Aren't you an optimistic person today?
Well, he's on Windows, so what do you expect?
We're gonna
And
have
he's hot over there. And Windows don't like to be hot because it crashes.
You got that right. But I got enough
I
fans.
don't like to.
and
Hell, I
the
crash
fans
when
are
I'm hot.
all of the fans are blowing the heat on me. That's the problem.
You got a Mac Pro, you don't get the heat blown on you, and he works so quiet.
That's because it melts on the inside.
All right, so let's go with one of our first highlights here. Can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Make sure wasn't nothing weird happening there. All right, this one's from Miss Michelle Thorne. It's good to see her sharing some stuff in the community. I love the idea that she had here. My comment is it's blurred. It really wasn't focused.
That's the only thing I see wrong with it.
Maybe she could have, put her elbows in her gut or something to try to steady the camera a little more. But I like what she came with this one here. What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Mr. Knight.
I like the idea, the thought behind it. Besides the blur, I had a couple other issues with it.
Such as?
Blur being one of the things. The other thing being that where they're taking this picture, that big crease that's running down the middle.
Right there?
Mm-hmm.
That comes out the bottom and is out the top. That kind of throws it off for me as well.
Okay.
And slightly I want to say she cropped this, and my problem with the crop is that I've got part of the other guy in the frame and not a part of the other guy in the frame to kind of balance it out.
So you got him there, but you don't have this cat.
Right.
Okay.
If I had seen a little bit wider to see a little bit more of the other person so that I could see, hey, that arm's going to that person, they are really, connecting. I could go with a little bit more and more in focus and without that thing in the background.
Almost like they're in an elevator.
Yeah,
But I like the authenticity of it. I'll say that's how I'll say it. I like the realness of it.
Yeah.
Right, but all I can say is the premise is great, execution sucks, and that's about it. It was out of focus. Everything that everybody's saying.
Mm-hmm.
If they would, the whole premise is excellent.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Mr. Sweeney?
It doesn't suck. This is what I would call street photography, where you give away technical technique in exchange for the story. I happen to like it. There is a realism to the image I like. If you look at the hand in the lower left, where the wrist is at, it seems to be, on my screen, it actually looks sharper. So I think what you're actually seeing in blur is hand movement, which to me is part of the story. The stuff in the background, that's all part of the story too. I don't like the fact the ring is a little crowded. I wish you would have gone a little out. Right, I wish she'd gone a little wider on the crop there, both sides. But overall, I like it for street photography.
What exactly do you mean by street photography?
You're shooting for realism. You're shooting to catch a moment or a bit of a story, and you're generally doing it quietly. You're not in someone's face doing it. You may be doing it camouflage. You may be doing it without them knowing. They may know it, but it's most certainly in their environment, wherever it is, on the street or in a home or something. But typically it's much more of a guerrilla style shooting.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say the execution sucks. No, I can't say that. I don't like the blur. I wish, again, I like pixels. Yeah, I like sharp pixels. It would have been nice to be able to see a little more of the ruggedness, the roughness of this man's fingers here. A little more detail with the hands.
Can you expand the details, the photo details? I'm curious about something.
All right, here we
Shutter
go.
speed, 15th of a second. Yeah. Now what's interesting is it's got only an ISO of 200. Typically, an iPhone would have pushed up the ISO before it dropped the shutter speed.
Again,
This is,
it's an
she's on
Android
the
phone, Mike.
Galaxy. She's on one of the Galaxy phones, right? Yeah, she's on an S3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That explains it. It's Android.
Whatever.
Well,
Go ahead,
the
Rob.
other reason I asked to show the details because looks like she probably used a stock camera. I was curious. I'm curious because she doesn't say if she shot this in HDR mode, which would explain some of the blurring, extra blurring. I don't see ghosting that would be,
Right.
typical.
Typically, you'd see a shadow ghost.
I just seen
But
Pretty small picture size, file size too.
fast enough
That's very small, actually.
that
Although black and white will be smaller than a color picture.
that it shouldn't have blurred that much. Most of that blur is not. I don't think most of the blur is associated with the actual movement of the hands. I think it's associated with the holding of the camera,
Right.
the steadiness of the.
That's what I thought. That's what I assumed.
Because if this is just a single shot, my knowledge of that particular camera, because I have the same one in the Note 2, it would have caught that without blur. Her blurring probably came from her own motion trying to balance to actually take the shot.
Gotcha.
probably.
All right. Well, that's Miss Thorne's shot
But it's
there.
excellent. Overall,
Kudos.
everything, except for a few things, the whole premise is great. That was one of the best ones, premise-wise.
This one here, this is from Miss Deborah, who was here in our last hangout. Sorry she couldn't make it tonight. Family. Very, very big on family, whether y'all believe that or not. I know I fuss about my hard heads and wife and all of that, but yeah, it's this one struck the heart,
That's a very fun picture.
It was. That's why I voted for it. I thought it was excellent.
And what I really like is the negative space on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And what did she do here? She do some blur on it or anything? So it looks like it's got a little
Maybe a little
cinefocus in it.
vignetting.
Yeah, I see a vignetting in it.
This is very, very well done.
Picasso, black and
candid.
white. She flipped it to black and white. I've seen the color one of this.
Right, Picasso.
Oh, she used Picasso. Wow,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. No accounting for taste.
Since she's not here to defend herself, we can blast her.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's beat her up.
Well, I'm not going to knock Picasso. Picasso's actually very solid. It's just got
Even with
one.
the update?
It's got one problem though, Picasso.
Just
Made by
one?
Google.
I can name a couple.
What's the
what?
issue you got, Robert?
My issue with Picasso is the same thing that Google did with Snapseed. They screwed up the workflow of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Picasso, if you remember like your old media players such as Jet Audio, Real Player, you would install it. It's like, oh, I want to take over and do all of this stuff and take over all these files too. And I want
Yeah,
to
that's true.
Right.
I
I
remember
never installed that crap.
That's true.
But that's Picasso's problem.
Yeah.
Now, at least on the Mac,
That's
it
a fatal
doesn't.
problem.
At least on the Mac, it doesn't do it as much as it does on Windows.
Mm. Mr. King, what are your thoughts on this?
It
one?
actually, for me, it makes
Go ahead.
that, because it does it, it makes it harder. It made it harder to work, and it got worse as they've updated it.
Yeah, I let it go after that update.
Mm-hmm.
Update.
Right?
I
'Cause it
have
has some great
it.
things, especially if you were looking to like straighten a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent for doing that, but some of the updates have just killed really using it almost on a everyday basis.
Mm-hmm. Mr. King, you have any thoughts on this shot?
It's just, it was well thought out, well executed, and it's just, it deserves it. It's the one that really should have won.
Is there anything you would have done differently though?
Not really. I like the way she did the vignetting. I like the way she got everything in. I mean, it's just well done.
Love it.
To me, this picture is a difference in camera speed as well.
All right.
Because she's on the S5 and Michelle was on the S3.
Mm-hmm. Big difference processing.
Their
Right?
processing power. She took this picture, and this isn't something that was. This wasn't staged because I believe her daughter's actually photobombing right here. So in the photobomb, this is going on because the other two may not quite notice the camera.
Right.
But you see a lot less blurring going on. So either she's more steady. I believe she's probably more steady. Probably using the table to steady herself. Plus the camera processing wise is a little bit faster. So it captures the image a lot faster.
All right. All right. Mr. Sweeney, anything you'd like to discuss on it or do differently?
No, I like it as it stands. It's just a fun, great picture of family.
Yeah.
And this kind of falls into the same camp as street photography. You got, the natives in the background going about their business, and it's not technically perfect, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
But the subject's sharp. It looks good. Everybody looks natural. It's not that cheese.
Don't you love that?
No, I hate that actually.
That's the whole idea.
Now that you mention it, I really dislike it.
Nice.
When they ever say that, I just go with F you.
Now we'll get into the next two. All right, this one is from Steve Borden. He's been having a lot of fun here in the community. I looked at it, and the first thing came to my mind is this thing floating in the air. Because every time I look at the connections, every time I look at my little connections for headphones or whatever, they're sort of laying flat on my surface. This thing is in the air.
Yeah, well, if you buy those cheap Chinese cables, they're kind of stiff. So,
but also this could be a cable that you go from a patch cable, and they're going to be a lot thicker because they're used. It's not like your cheap headphone cable. It's actually a cable that you can use to hook up to another device.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be a little heavier. So, yeah, I would imagine it's a little stiffer. But, yeah, it looks like it is floating.
Yeah.
It is magical.
Well, next thing you know, he's going to tell us he actually took 2 or 3 images and did a little cut and pasting and, a little work like that. Yeah.
I'm not going to put it past Steve.
But, again, that's not breaking any rules.
No, it's not.
I think
It's
that's
absolutely
guitar cable is what he said.
Say it again, Robert.
Audio cable, yeah.
Yep.
I told you it was
It's
an audio
not your
cable.
average headphone cable.
Okay. So yeah.
I told you it was an audio cable.
Little
patch
fatter.
cable.
Yeah. But I like it. I like the texture he got out of it. And like I said, not to mention that it's floating there, but just the texture. You could feel this plastic.
Well,
and
what's funny is the glow around it actually works with the image. That halo going on.
You think that just came from the drama filter itself?
Yes.
Or what
Yes.
does it come
Yes,
from?
this drama filter would do that.
Whoops, sorry. Go back. Pruitt. There we go.
Come on, goofball. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's just from. I've seen that happen to some of my own images playing with the drama in the HDR.
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes that can make it even look even better.
It can. This time it works.
Yeah, sometimes it works, and this is just one of them.
I guess it's just an algorithm with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and just certain things, and he hit the right mixture, and it works.
Now, anything you guys would have changed on this, or would have done differently?
Nothing.
Nah.
Sit it flat.
No.
Don't sit it
But
flat.
I might have shot at a little more of an angle to pick up some more depth of field blur on the back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
shooting more so from this side to there.
Yeah, just bring the nose towards the camera a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a nitpick. So
Yeah.
And the only other, I might have rounded the shot a little bit higher to the top. And this is just me to get that wording that's on there.
Ah, yeah.
I thought about that when I was looking at it, but I don't know. I kind of like the indistinctness, but I understand what you're saying.
I would have put it on there and then said not a sponsor. That's what I would have done.
Right. Take the
But I
hint.
like
You're not a
that.
sponsor, and you should be.
But let me say something about him not having that so it's distinctive. If he was to say had the ability to sell this pick, he could actually do it without saying this is so and so's cable. He
Right,
wouldn't be
right.
restricted
Right.
by a brand.
There's no brand associated with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Good point.
Because I've actually had one of my pictures that 500 Picks wanted to sell, but they had to decline because there was a brand in it. There was a
Of
brand name
course.
in the photo.
Of course. Man, okay, sorry about that. My phone from work just buzzed me. All right.
Tell him you're busy.
I'll tell him here in a second. So now we'll get to. Ooh, I got another vote. The winning shot. Mine. Didn't expect to win.
Rigged.
So what if it's rigged? Not worried about you. No, this is
In that case, I'm taking it all away from you.
no, don't do that. No, this is fun. This is down below the parking deck on the lower level.
Right. So these are the support struts.
Yep.
Yep.
And I tried to focus in from here to here, that connection there.
Sure.
I don't know if I pulled that off, but that was my attempt. Added a layer and did the whole mask thing to try to, vignette it a little bit to make it focus there.
Okay.
But I had some fun with that. I had to straighten it some right here.
Yep.
Because this was sort of the parking deck is actually on a slope. If you're standing it actually slopes from left to right that way.
Hard to get a level shot when something slopes.
Exactly.
Well, of course, one they do it for easy for going down, also
Of course.
for water.
All right.
Yep.
And
I'll tell you what I like about this ant is that green light in the left corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way cool.
Oh yeah.
I got lucky. Yes.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with luck.
Thanks. But this was fun. This was no HDR. It's just straight out the camera.
Okay.
With Google's camera app. And
Did you use Lightroom?
no, this was in
Wimp.
that was in GIMP, I believe. Hadn't used Lightroom yet.
Wimp.
I will.
Wimp,
I use it this
wimp,
weekend
wimp.
because I'm going to chill this weekend.
Well, something
yeah.
we want to
You
talk
guys
about.
want to do differently on this thing, or what don't you like, or start with you, Robert?
I would have taken another shot and moved over to where that green light is. Take one with the green light and the depth to see what kind of theme you could pull out of that. Because to me, that would have given
Get like an X-File theme going or something. You know?
it would have given you like almost a double theme for your money.
Two for the price of one.
I like that beam that's coming up and coming out. I kind of get lost though because I'm looking at the cross beam here, and then the other beam just is kind of out there. It's not symmetrically complete for me because of that, but it's not a bad shot.
No.
And
But I think
that's just
so.
me.
So, Mr. Knight, would you say he needed to take about 2 feet to the left to get that leftmost beam centered?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So get this one centered more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep the same angle so you get that really nice dramatic angle, but kind of balance it out, light and dark.
Why
I
is
think
my phone?
since that's a parking structure, you can always go back and reshoot.
This is true.
Practice makes perfect.
I mean, considering I'll be there tomorrow.
There you go.
At least I hope, anyway.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
I hope so.
Or the building doesn't blow up or burn down.
Oh, you're an optimist.
Now, what about you? Yes, he is. What about you, Mr. King? Differently? Anything you'd like to do differently?
Really, just what everybody said. Overall, it's an excellent shot. It's just that I think you need to center that one beam a little more, and then you got it. But it's good enough as it is.
All right. Well, sweet. I appreciate.
You got lucky for a change.
Yeah, I know. I did get lucky, and I gotta tell you.
Talk about Mr. King. He is skilled.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
look at it this way. You didn't have to get on your hands and knees.
That's right.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I said this week I'm not getting on my knees this week.
No, I'm not touching that.
I had
I'm not
to,
touching that one. I'm not touching
no.
that one at all.
Y'all are not right. But yeah,
That
when
goes without saying.
the whole thing with that green light, I saw that there after the fact, and then I was like, oh shit, they're gonna chew this one up.
The green lights what made
You
it.
knew that was coming.
I was like, they're gonna chew this thing up, you know. But all
Well,
right,
as
I
they
got
said, the
lucky.
green lights what made it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for the votes, and I guess I have to come up with a challenge this week. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to have something up tonight or in the morning or what have you. All right. So I wanted to look at some stuff from the community. Let me pull them up here. We had some interesting shots come in from some of our newer members. One in particular, he's in Italy. I can't say his name. Giuseppe, maybe? Is his name?
We'll take that.
So we're going to go with that. We're going to
Where's
start
Deborah?
out.
Deborah, when you need her.
Yeah, for real. Where is she? Dadgummit. So let me share my screen again, and I'm going to show this shot. Share screen. There. All right, convergence. Move this out of the way. There, that's better. Now, he took two different shots. He's got the color one and this one here.
Oh, there we go.
All right, see me?
I like the color.
Yeah, I miss seeing the color one. Actually, I like that one better. I like the black and white, but I like the color one even more.
Yep, more contrast.
Now, this one here is the black and white.
No, it's not. It's gray.
Gray, sorry. Damn it. Don't hurt me.
If she had put a red filter on it or played with it to make it a true black and white, I think it'd work better. But right now, it's gray.
It's gray. All right. So between that one and this one, the color is better.
Color, hands down.
Yeah, I like what he did with this one. I like this one more.
Now this is with the S4 and the wonderful world of Pixlr Express.
Awesome.
Another editor that gets a lot of run on here. All right. So that's that one.
What
And
did he
then
shoot that with?
He shot it with the S4.
S4? Okay.
S4. Let's look at the specs on it here.
Let's see.
Oh, it didn't show anything. Damn.
No.
So
Just
Express probably stripped it.
All right. Quite
Huh.
possibly.
Interesting.
Now there was one here. This one. Have any of you guys ever been able to pull this off?
Yes.
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
How? What did you do?
Long
Sweeney?
exposure.
Yes.
I was shooting with 1 second exposures.
So you just did you do like he did and just let it sit there and just wait?
That's exactly right. There is a very expensive piece of gear that's a audio trigger, and when it's smart enough to know how to shoot when it hears the thunder. So there are ways to do it with add-ons, but those are for DSLRs. But for a smartphone,
yeah, I
you just
know.
open the shutter up and let it rip.
Wait a minute. So it's smart enough to figure out to shoot based on when it hears the thunder? I thought the thunder came after the lightning.
But you're assuming there'll be something afterwards too. It's not a one-shot deal.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. But I saw that and I was a little bit jealous myself. I was like, I've been trying this forever.
It's luck and patience. I mean, the last time I did it, I was standing on the deck of a wet ship, which probably wasn't really smart. Given
Seriously,
the ship's all
dude?
metal. Yeah, dude. I was on a cruise.
Come
I'm
on,
on the middle.
man.
I'm on the steel deck of a ship shooting lightning. Not one of my smarter moments, I might add.
Oh Lord, man.
Yeah, no, I've done it before. I've had mine on my
The crew looked like I was
DSLR.
kind of nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, looks aren't deceiving.
Jeez,
Well,
man.
What's funny is I sold that picture.
Nice.
No, I got a good lightning shot. I need to find it again. It's not on this drive. I have it on another drive.
Mhm.
But what I did, I had my SLR, and I was far enough away, but I had everything set, and I had one of those external triggers, and I just waited for it and a minute it started, it's when I hit everything, and I got a It was one of these really multiple forks coming out, which really looked good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are cool when you get them.
Yeah, and I happened to catch it just right because I was out. We were out in Oklahoma,
And see,
and
oh, sorry, go ahead.
when I saw these storms coming in there, and I said they were going away from us and not going to be a threat, so I just stopped, got my camera out, put it on a DSLR or on the tripod, got the little external trigger so that way I don't touch a thing on the camera and take a chance of getting a out of shot or out of focus shot, and it came
Yeah.
out beautiful.
Yeah,
I
you can
was in
pull
a
it off with a
camp.
smartphone by locking the focus down and then using a third-party app to extend the shutter. Because if you think about it, if you got a black background like a black sky, you're not going to overexpose anything per se for a minute or two.
That's
So
the nice.
the odds are in your favor.
That's gonna be the nice thing with iOS 8. You can use your iPad to trigger the
You
camera
can
on the
do it. You can do it
iPhone.
in 6 with the right app. I've done it.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
really? Use a tablet to
Yeah,
trigger the phone?
yeah. There's and from iOS 6 on, there was an app. I used it to take some moonshots where I put the phone up onto the telescope and walked away, and it used a Bluetooth connection, and I could actually see it on the iPad and trigger and then see the final print or image. It was pretty cool.
Nice. All right, and there's one more I wanted to look at from my man, Mr. Robert Knight. Your lemon berry. You have that available? Or you want me to share it?
That was a great
I've got
picture.
I pulled that up. I want to say I looked at it today, if not yesterday.
You should have put like a happy face on it.
I was like, man, I said, I can't quite figure out what it is I
Oh my
like
God!
about
You killed
this.
Kenny.
Yes, yes. But tell us what you got going on here, Robert.
Basically, this is the lemon berry slush from Sonic.
Yep, bird.
And
You
I
suck
took this
right
thing
now.
at-
You realize that?
sitting at my desk.
I'd really love to have one right now after seeing that picture and you talk
Yes.
about it. Just that sucks.
We got
No.
haterade over here, Robert. That's all.
Probably the interesting thing is the way I lit this, because I took my LED light. Literally, the phone is sitting on top of the cup.
Yeah. Did you blow the light through the cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
The
took
ultimate diffuser.
exactly. I used the warm diffuser, turned the light, adjusted the light so it was just right, so it didn't blow out too much,
Yep.
and just kind of tinkered with the light to get the right angle, get enough light in the cup around the phone. Press the button on the phone, take a shot, like, okay, that's it. And this is not HDR. This is just a regular straight shot. And
That's
then I
great.
did the processing with it.
SLR sharpened.
Oh yeah. And I'll be thinking about you.
This shot without that LED light is next to impossible.
Yeah. And I'll be thinking about you guys when I'm after I finish with my root beer float from
Now,
Sonic.
if you want an adventure, try to do that with a DSLR sometime.
Jeez, yeah, right.
You got 6 pounds of camera on top of a foam cup.
A foam cup, yeah. Wonder who's gonna win that battle.
Yeah.
It lets you have a tripod, one of those gorilla pods.
You know, and the angle is on purpose of how this is, that I angled the camera to shoot against that wall and then kind of and focus down instead of taking it dead on.
All right.
So you kind of
Very
have this kind of sloping effect going on.
Very cool. I still think you should put a happy face on it. But that's just my twisted imagination having some fun.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll say light zone
all-
with its
All that
processing power.
red with a happy face on the lemon, that'd been so awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Light
gotta be
zone.
at least a year of therapy for every kid that sees it, you know.
Did a very good job of you know, helping me bring up the contrast back in the lower pools of berry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very.
mercy.
Put some grapes in there and call them dog's eyes or something. Yeah. We had well, I say that because I had a very sick neighbor as a kid who on one Halloween he had dog eyes out for kids, and it was ketchup and grapes.
Wow.
It gave me nightmares for
brilliant.
days.
I gotta tell you, that's pretty daggone brilliant, though. If I actually did Halloween for kids around here, that would be worth it.
Speaking of therapy needed.
That camera takes a pretty doggone large JPEG.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
11.87.
Yowza. That's the JPEG?
Yeah.
Insane, dude. Like a TIFF.
No kidding.
So,
Although, when I'm shooting with ProCam or Pure, my JPEGs clock in at 5 to 6 meg now.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the standard iOS of maybe 1.5 meg.
Yeah, mine are normally around 4 or 5, somewhere in that area.
I saw the other day. I saw the size of the picture coming off the 1020. It's almost as big as a RAW file. In fact, it is about the same size as a RAW file. It's 223 some odd megs.
Ouch.
Jeez. Good grief.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had a QA in the hangout from Steve Borden. He asked if I had AC. Yes, I have AC, but it's still 100 degrees here on the second floor. Thanks. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, before we get out here, I did want to look at Mr. McCusker. We know he's been going back and forth regarding iPhone versus the Galaxy S5, right? I think it was either way. It was Android versus iOS. So he put up a shot, or they're fairly close, or similar, or what have you. It's the same location, and he just wanted to do a little comparison. This is the Samsung. Why does it say 1 of 2 and it ends? Seriously. And this is with the iPhone 5. Now, what do you guys? First thing I notice is the background, the way the light is sort of. It's not a white light.
It's more warmer.
Yeah. What exactly controls that? Is it just the sensors, or you guys know?
F-stop for one.
F-stop. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was answering a work question, so I missed it.
It got you too, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to explain layer 3 routing to somebody, and it's a very difficult process.
Oh boy. Yeah. Good luck.
I too. One thing that would help. Of course, a lot of us don't use the stock camera app because you don't have as much.
Yeah.
Right. You don't until iOS 8. You don't have as much control. That's why I forgot the one that I use, CP Pro, and I forgot the one that Mr. MacGyver uses. I'm thinking about getting it. Pure Shot. I'm thinking about getting that one because you have a little more adjustments, and that's the big thing is sometimes the iPhone, now by tapping you can kind of control the focus, and also it will adjust the
well, you
lights,
can,
so.
but it's very crude when you do.
I know that's the thing. It's just the stock camera app on iOS.
Although iOS 8 says they've split it.
Yes, they have it. It's a lot better. At least on the iPad, that camera does a lot better job. But right now, just on iOS 7, I know I'm going to get hit from all these people I know that are big iPhone users and they bow down to Apple. If anyone complains about Apple, I hear it.
Yeah.
And I said the stock app does not do a good job. It literally sucks. I think your stock Android app is better than the Apple one. But now if you get into a third-party app, you have a little more control, and that camera can take some hell of a pictures.
I gotta tell you, I like the Jelly Bean stock more so than I like the KitKat stock on Android.
Why is that?
I think it was just the interface seemed a little easier to get through.
It's something that the phone manufacturers haven't really gotten a good handle on. Is that the interface they give us can make or break the entire unit.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just the interface, and there was a change in the Android stock app for taking photos. And the change was that because of the people that like to go to parties and take pictures and
the low
damn
black
selfies.
Grove,
Yeah,
they
like
changed
stuff.
the algorithm basically of the app for better low light picture taking instead of trying to be kind of more in the middle ground.
Yeah.
So if you bring that back up, one of the things that I noticed about the two pictures here, there are a couple of differences.
This is the iPhone first. You see
go
it?
back to number one.
What the heck is going on? There it is. All right,
Okay,
that's the
this is
Samsung.
with the Samsung. So look at his exposure there, and look at his f-stop number. Very important difference because that's telling you about that warmth that you see more in that Samsung photo.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to the iPhone one and see how different they are.
Okay.
Well, no. Your f-stop's got zero to do with the warmth. Warmth is strictly how those JPEGs are processed and what kind of color balancing they put up against it.
Yeah, and
because I can adjust a picture to be any color temp I want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a function of processing. I mean, in the bad old days, you wanted a warm, contrasty picture, you shot Kodachrome. If you wanted something a little more in the bluer tone, you shot Fujichrome. I mean, it's all about color balance.
Are the ISOs the same?
Yeah, the ISO is the same.
ISO doesn't mean a damn for color. Neither does aperture.
It's more for the clarity, but Apple has a tendency on some of on the camera apps, on their camera, and where they do the JPEG on theirs, they have a tendency to always give it a little more blue.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a second. So, I'll disagree with you, and the reason I'll disagree with you is being a geek and somewhat of an anal retentive geek. I actually took my iPhone and I used one of these against it. This is an official color checker.
I haven't seen that in about a year, bro.
I use these things. These are color calibrated samples, and you use these in conjunction with Photoshop, and you take the picture and then you use Photoshop and its eyedropper tool, and you can actually see how close of a color match you've got, down to the bit. And the iPhone is actually pretty damn color balanced right out of the box. That's more than I can say for some others.
Right.
So on my ticket, the iPhone is actually a closer match to true color than some of the others.
Right.
So if you were to take that other phone, I forget which one it was, and shoot that same little color sample, you're probably going to find that the phone itself leans to the warm tones rather than being accurate. That's a choice that the engineers made when they decided, based on group studies and all that crap, how they wanted to do their processing.
Interesting.
I've always liked mine to look really close to the actual. I guess that's one reason I like the iPhone one, because the pictures are more color accurate.
Well, now this comes down to the user. So in my world, when I shoot with a DSLR, when I'm shooting professionally, everything is shot neutral. The intent is I'll do all my adjustments post-processing.
And that's what I do.
Same thing on the iPhone. It's the same idea. I enjoy the fact that it's neutral or color accurate, and I change it in post. Some people don't want to be bothered with that. So if they get a phone that will send everything to the warm side out of the box, so to speak, they're probably a lot happier with that. So that's a judgment call based on who's shooting the phone.
Yeah, and I guess the way I always like it, I like to get mine as close to the way I saw it, I might bring up the vibrance up a little bit more than I saw it, but color-wise, I like to have it pretty
Nah.
close to
I
where
go all
mine
over
is.
the map. I start neutral, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stay there.
Right.
I'm more so with King on this one because I don't really take a shot unless something will catch my eye, and most of the time when it catches my eye, I'm wearing sunglasses because I struggle with sunlight. It just really hurts my eyes.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm wearing the sunglasses, so I'm already seeing it a certain way, and I'm
Right.
snapping it and looking at it on the phone with those sunglasses. And of course, when I get inside and
You'll
put it
learn
up
to
on the
flip those
computer,
glasses up if you really want to get a true picture.
That's what I
and I try to do that every now and then, but then it's like it totally changes everything. Contrast is so
Yeah.
different, So
Right.
then when I get on the computer, I have to think about it. Okay, now that's not how it looked when I had my glasses on, So I'll pretty much adjust it. That way.
It's here. It's
hey,
here.
we're all done. We're all done, Mike.
What are we doing, dude? We're done.
It's time to bring back the Dwayne Wayne specs, and
I should get some Dwayne Waynes.
You know what? I only came in because I was watching. I didn't know that the universe would do everything to prevent me from leaving the office when I said I was going. But I wanted to comment on that color calibration tool.
Good grief! He looks like he came off from.
What's that, Mike?
Color
You want to adjust?
calibration?
You want to talk about this little gem?
Yes, you know what? Those are lifesavers. I think
Yes, sir, they
everybody
are.
should get one of those bad boys. It is coming so because when I am out taking photo, I want to make sure that I get that color, especially with our rings and stuff like that. And without that, I can't really tell how true to the real color I am. So I don't know if you mentioned a place to find them online.
Amazon.
Amazon has them. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But they're top notch. You guys do.
I'll dig a link up and put it in the notes here.
I got about 3 of those. I keep with me.
Those are just incredibly next level.
Now, is there any next level?
Well, he looked like he just came out of prison because that looked like he's wearing a prison jumper. Dude, look at him. Orange.
The love in this room.
I'm not gonna say nothing about that, considering that's my favorite color. So I'm gonna let you.
I was gonna say,
I
isn't
love
this the
orange.
pink color right here?
Yeah.
Hey, orange is the new black, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
In the fall during football season, I wear burnt orange all the time.
Very nice.
Hey, they got a whole show about it.
Exactly. Now, is there anything you guys wanted to share in particular? Mr. King, you got any shots you wanted to share from the week?
Not really. I didn't chance to take much because I've been off this week, and I went out to the Battleship Texas. I took a lot of pictures, but I can't share them on here because they weren't with a smartphone.
They went with your phone. That's all right. Now, what about you, Mr. Sweeney?
Oh, I've always got stuff to share.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Um,
Speaking of, I shared your life hack today.
I saw that. Thank you. What I don't have ready to share is raise your hands if you've got the new Photoshop 2014 loaded up already. Oh,
Crickets.
come on, guys. They just released it yesterday.
Wait,
What do you
the
wait?
current
Crickets.
Creative Cloud version?
Yeah.
You got no Photoshop.
I'm a Creative Cloud user.
Yeah. So
I
Creative
been
Cloud
on it yet.
2014 has improved their upsizing tool. And I actually took a iPhone picture that was 100 dpi, 2,000 pixels across, and I doubled it to 4,000 pixels at 300 dpi. One fell swoop. And it works. It works really, really well. And I'm actually I'm putting together a little package to show the before and after to kind of get it across. But for anybody shooting a smartphone, that one tool alone will save your butt. If you want to really start printing big prints. And the magic is they've changed the algorithm slightly to really keep the detail intact, and they've actually built in noise reduction. So as they make the picture bigger, it tends to amplify the noise, and they've got a slider bar now where you can pull it down and get rid of the noise and keep the detail.
I'll have to play with that. I try to avoid using Photoshop like the plague.
I know you do. I'm not
That means I'm
talking to
actually
you.
working.
I haven't.
Mhm.
I'm not
the,
going to be putting these. I won't be putting up in the group, but this is from my weekend.
What you got there?
Oh,
Ooh,
nice
nice.
shot. Very nice shot.
We did go out horseback riding
Yeah.
Saturday.
I was.
And I took that. I took this. I didn't have my SLR. I did take a picture of that. And reason why, I don't want to be bugged about my friend that I have,
Yeah,
That's understandable.
I do.
and
Well,
she doesn't want either. So, and I didn't have her permission to publicly share it.
So it just puts it on point and shoot. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
right.
I want to see. I'm not sure if my screen share is actually going to work here. I want to try this and see if it does what it should do. Okay, can I minimize that?
Ow!
All
All right.
Wants to look at two Michael Kings.
Yeah. All right. Now
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't.
this shot.
I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm hoping you can see the entire desktop here.
Yep, we can.
Okay. So what I really wanted to do is, this is a screenshot, and it's a screenshot of the basically Photoshop, or excuse me, Lightroom that's running on an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to show a little bit is what it can actually do. And what I have here is, let's see here. I wanted this one and this one. I think that's right. Okay. So one thing it will do is it will give you all the detail. You can see all the metadata up on the screen, really easy. You can see the histogram on the right-hand side. It shows you, what the exposure and all that happy stuff was. But these are how the interface works. You got your clarity, noise reductions, and it's just a swipe of the finger, and it's fast. It is really, really fast. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. This here, I'm actually playing with the highlights, and so let me zoom in. So that was the default. Pretty sure, yeah. That was pushing the highlights up. You can see the little tick ball right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pushing the highlights up, and then that's how far down I can pull them. You can see I've gone the other way about the same amount, but look how much detail will come back. I mean, that's a huge amount of range in just the highlights. And this is on the iPad. This isn't even on your desktop now.
Nice.
You've got the loop that you can move around and really zoom in on the stuff.
Closer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's pull this out. You can share to all sorts of things, and what's really, really cool is you can open in Photoshop Touch. So you do all your adjustments in Lightroom, your basic adjustments, color adjustments, temperature adjustments, and then you can drop it in the Lightroom, into Photoshop Touch, and now you've got all the layers and all the blending modes and everything else that you would expect out of Photoshop.
But you said it was fast. What iPad are you using?
Air. I'm running on an Air.
Okay. I wonder how it runs on an older one. I'll have to pull one out and play.
This is what Photoshop Touch looks like. You've got the layers on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You got a basic interface on the left, and you got options across the top. And you just touch, and you can pull down. I mean, this is beyond Photoshop Light. This is like Photoshop mid-level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you can start playing with warp, and you got gradient tools and all that good stuff on an iPad.
All on a tablet.
Man, that is some sweet stuff. For editing fast in the field, you can control the brush size a lot. And when you're dealing with your finger, that's worth some money.
Mm-hmm. That's critical.
Mm-hmm.
And how precise in my cropping can I get? Well, I touch it, and I can pull up and type in the actual numbers I want. I can drag it with the little drag bars if I want, but I can actually just type in the numbers if I'm trying to get something perfectly square like it was here.
Right.
And it's cheap. That's the beauty of it. It's dirt cheap.
The,
I mean, so if you got an iPad and you want to play with Photoshop, man, this would be the way to go. It's like $10.
Mm-hmm.
It's $10 to buy it for the iPad.
Very nice.
Nice.
So
I'll give you that one. That is nice.
let me see if
There
I
we
can
go.
get myself back here and not break everything in the process.
Ah!
Hey, we got somebody joining in. Who's this here? Is that Steven?
Yes.
Yeah,
There
hi
he
guys,
is.
how you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, join the party. Hey, now he runs away.
Now he runs away.
He saw your face. He
Never
saw
mind.
Portis's face and ran.
Actually, I just got my face back, and he ran.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Well, Mr. Sweeney, appreciate
There he is.
you sharing that shot there.
Now,
There
I
he
don't
is.
know. I don't know what the plans are for bringing Photoshop Touch out for the droids, for the tablets that are running Android.
Well, you still got that whole 8-inch, 7-inch, 10-inch. You got all of that stuff going on, and then whatever the overlays are, I'm sure that's got something to do with it.
Yeah, that may be, but I'll tell you, for a photographer or even a serious amateur, having Photoshop Touch and Lightroom on an iPad, that's a money-making proposition. You know, that alone's
Nice.
worth just about. I mean, you can.
Yes.
The money you save in buying the desktop version would pay for the iPad.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
good point. Good
And
point.
you've got something that'll run for 10 hours on a single charge, so you could actually go on vacation, not bring a laptop, and get some really high-quality editing done, you know, along the way.
Yeah,
Not to mention build your slideshows and all that happy stuff on the way home.
dude. That's hardcore, though.
Yeah.
You think so? Hardcore is when I bought my first laptop with a dual 720 floppy disk weighing in about 23 pounds and dragging that sorry thing to DC.
Dedication to the game.
Man.
Man,
And
I
one
love
knows
my
why he has
iPad.
back problems.
That wasn't even the backlit screen.
Oh, jeez, dude. Those are the days. Those were the days.
Yeah, I'm glad they're gone.
All right, let's give Mr. Firestone a second to introduce himself here. Let me see if you.
Oh, yeah.
I had to mute you for a second because you didn't have any earbuds in, so you had an echo.
Echo.
Yeah, you were muted.
Can you unmute yourself, Steven? Can you unmute yourself?
Because I don't think we can.
Hit your unmute. There you go.
No,
Nope.
still don't hear him.
Still don't hear you.
You killed him, man. You took
Hit-
away
hit
his
it.
voice.
Hit the mute button at the top of your Hangout window. There's a microphone up there. Click on that.
That better?
There you
Yes,
go. Now we
got
hear
it.
you.
There we go. How you doing? My name is Stephen Firestone. I'm a systems engineer who basically dances around all over the West. Systems engineer is essentially a fancy way of saying I hit Control-Alt-Delete for a living. And
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
The oldest thing I've ever worked on was I have a guy who I still do work for to do work on his Tandy 6000s from 1983,
Dude.
and but I've worked with networks up to several thousand people, and I'm all over the place. I'm in North Dakota this week. I was in Boise last week, Seattle the week before. I'll be in Phoenix next week, and then Montana, then Wyoming. I'm all over the place.
Dude.
I'm making gravy without the lump.
Dude. You're going to
I'm
get some
from the
good
South,
shots
so
when
if
you
you
go.
hear my accent, that's where it comes from.
You're going to get some great shots when you go through Montana for sure. Since we have one of our members, he lives in I think it's Missoula. Well, no, it's somewhere near Missoula, and he takes shots all the time. It looks like postcards. It's just amazing. So you're gonna get some good stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Well, we appreciate you coming in, even though it's the end of the hangout.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. I just got back from happy hour.
Nice.
So,
Oh yeah.
Nice.
oh yes, Long Island iced teas for days.
Hey, Steve, I see that picture you put up. I like that one better.
Which one?
Which one was it? Was it the sunset?
The sunset's gorgeous.
Let me see if I can
Yeah,
find it.
I am like a photography fool. So I am always on the road, and I'm always stopping to take the time to get these shots, and you just never know what you're going to get. You have to literally just be willing to slam on the brake and pull over to the side of the road.
Which I have.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Do it all
I'm
the
gonna pull
time,
this one up here.
almost to the point of being dangerous about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull
I
this one
actually had to
up.
take my shoes off one day because I hit the brakes, went off the side, took my picture, and realized I was standing in mud.
Ow.
Of course, man. Again, hardcore.
But,
Like we said, hardcore.
I got the picture.
Now look at this this one here from Steven. Let me go back. It's a photosphere. It's freaking gorgeous.
I've been having fun with the photospheres lately. I really have. I'm getting better at them and getting them seamed properly, so that they all show up. They don't really have the break in the seams.
Yeah.
And it really is a bit of an art to get them proper. So they're kind of fun to do.
Gotta be steady. And you're using the G2.
Was that picture right there is Twin Falls, Idaho. That would be Shoshone Falls. That's a huge gorge about 400 feet deep. That
Oh my gosh.
if you're at the freeway, you wouldn't even know it was there. It's all flat land, looks like desert. And then you go about 3 miles off the freeway, and it is the entrance to the city of Twin Falls. And that would be where Evel Knievel did his rocket jump in the 70s.
Nice.
Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, you've had quite a few in here. I like this one up here too.
That one, and I made a joke about that one. That was that's the windows. That's the Toyota Prius window tint filter.
I actually figured
I was on the freeway on the way into Seattle, and that's both of the sports domes right south of the city.
Yep.
And when I take them through the window at certain angles, it totally throws off the exposure for the camera. Sometimes it'll even rainbow. You just have no idea what the effect is going to be coming through that window. And it creates for some interesting shots sometimes. Most of the time, if it doesn't look good, I'll just delete it. But some shots, they just stand on their own right. They just draw you. They throw a feel that you try to manipulate and create with an image program. But sometimes what you get in natural real life beats that out, and there's nothing you can do to beat those types of just natural filters that occur sometimes.
I loved it.
Was on the way up to go get pictures of the Fremont Troll, which is a big 20-foot sculpture underneath a bridge in northern Seattle.
Did you get that? Did you get that picture?
Yeah, it's up. It's on my feed.
Let's see here.
I don't know that I posted it specifically to the group, but it should be in there.
Let's scroll through.
That was I pulled a shout out to somebody. There it is.
There it is, right there.
And I pulled a shout out to somebody because a troll had been mentioned from somebody, a friend of mine from Philly. And so I threw that up there, and I love that picture because it's like right out of the early 70s. I mean, it's so disco Superfly, it's not even funny.
Look at that.
I mean, it might as well be, something out of Logan's Run or something like that. It's great. Mega Man.
That is so cool.
So that is an actual Volkswagen Beetle in its hand. That's a real Volkswagen Beetle that's actually buried.
Dang.
So
That is nice stuff, bro. Really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Beetle right there. Wow.
you just can't buy the finding these little things like this. Someone will mention this offhand, and it was actually someone at the hotel I was staying in Olympia who said, well, if you go up to Seattle, you got to go see the troll. And I was like, troll? And so I said, what troll? And so she told me about it. I Googled it, and then I plotted the course and then went up there and then spent a few hours trying to look for it and find it. So.
And troll has such a different meaning on the internet. Didn't expect to see that.
Trolling on the internet? Damn straight. Yeah.
Good grief. All right. Good stuff. All right, folks. So we're going to call it a night here in the Hangout. We're going to allow you guys to give your little sign-off salutations and what have you, and let everybody know where we can find your shots.
How often do you do these?
We do these every Thursday at approximately 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Thursday.
I'd be willing to jump in on the next one.
Okay, we'll definitely do that. I believe one of the other moderators is going to host next Thursday because I will be traveling, but we'll make sure to get the invites up for you. No worries. All right, so Mr. King, let's give everybody a goodbye. Let us know where we can find you.
I can be found on Twitter. Everything is Michael King 4023, and I can be found Saturday, at the Bel Air Civic Center for the Hog. For our hog meets.
It's hog time, folks.
What
Houston Apple Users Group, right?
Houston area Apple Users Group.
Apple Users Group. Okay.
This is one of the original groups around.
Yeah.
We formed when it was called Apple before they changed it to Macintosh.
Gotcha. All right, appreciate you coming out, bro.
And I'll have some pictures I'm going to show you. Once we get the hangout closed, because I want from my weekend, and I don't want to post publicly.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Portis.
Hey, so apparently Google changed something, and the lower thirds don't work anymore if they're custom.
Oh yeah, that works.
Might work.
Everybody else
is working.
Mine is Gonzi's. But you can find me online at ablackandamac.com, as always, and any other of your favorite social networks under a Black and a Mac, especially Google+. I have some reviews to post, so they're coming.
All right.
Yeah. You said that last time.
Yeah. And then I've had the cluster F at all cluster Fs.
He was all super secret last week. He didn't say nothing.
I was like, it was bad.
Yeah. See that CF he's talking about is he got his color balance off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Nice. Appreciate you joining, Mr. Portis. Now, Mr. Sweeney.
Yes, sir.
Where can we find you, sir?
msmedia.me. You can find me in the Twitterverse, Light and Images. You can find me in iTunes. Buy my book, $2.99. Best device you'll ever find for shooting with an iPhone and getting real pictures out of it.
Real pictures. DPI
yeah, that means it's a real
PPI.
picture. It's not a overexposed, underexposed black square.
Nice. Appreciate you joining us as always, my man.
It's always fun to be here.
Next up, Mr. Robert Knight.
In my working lower third, at 500 picks.
Yeah, because you have a crappy stock. I don't want to do anything custom one from.
Mr. Portis, mine was made in Photoshop. So
mine was made in Photoshop too, and it's working.
Don't try it on Sparta, you get kicked in the pit.
See, I can't even turn on anything. It's weird.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a little Google love for you.
That's all. So you said 500px, bro?
Yeah, and what I'm gonna leave you with is, if you're traveling or if you're just out taking photos and you want to recharge easily, pick up one of these little handy dandy Dynex chargers from Best Buy. They're like $15. Has two USB ports on the end.
Yeah.
And then it's also surge protect, and you plug up 3 devices all at the same time.
Is that a battery?
No, it plugs into the outlet. So when you stop when you stop at your restaurant, pick a seat with an outlet.
So like a Starbucks or whatever.
Also, very good when you go on a vacation and you go on a cruise and there's only one outlet in the cabin.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Nice. Thank you, my man.
Besides carrying around a battery pack as well.
All right.
With somebody that doesn't have a lower third trying to show something like a flash of
We'll let him shine for a whole 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, you're done.
Probably something you can't tell us about.
No, it's a power.
That was a
1200 milliamp charger.
Yeah,
for iPhone and iPad and all your other devices. This.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's only got one port. Right. Mine has 2.
Jeez. All right. Thank you again, Mr. Knight. Lastly, Mr. Firestone.
Not getting much love tonight.
You other than somewhere all over the map here in the U.S. Can you hear us, Steven? Can you hear us, Steven?
Uh-oh.
Steven, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Should.
Can you hear me now? Did someone
And now
mute
you're
him?
muted again. I didn't mute you.
I didn't do it either.
No, I don't think he's muted. I don't see it.
I don't see him muted.
Say something for us. Nope. Still
No.
nothing. Nope.
No black people.
Oh, he's walking around with his laptop or his iPad or whatever.
Yeah, this is the laptop. Still
His
don't hear you.
laptop.
Got a mute on? Look in the top of the window, little microphone.
I don't see a mute emblem on the
me
his
neither.
icon.
Well, that's okay. We
We know you're there.
know you're there.
Hear me now?
Yep. Now
Yeah.
we hear you. Where can our folks find you?
I don't know why. Weird.
Tell the folks where we can find you here online.
Wait, say one more time.
Where can we find you online?
Oh, I'm sorry, it broke up.
Oh, I'm
he's
having
got bandwidth. Ah,
bandwidth problems.
yeah. You got bandwidth. That's okay. We'll get you next go around. I'll just let everybody know to find you on your Google Plus profile and look for you all over the West Coast and Midwest and so forth.
Feel free to have me. I'll add you right back.
Appreciate it. All right. Lastly, myself, I am Ant Pruitt, and find me here on Google Plus, of course. But I also group up on Twitter. I have no life. Check out smartphone-photographers.com. We're putting up some content there. And check out my YouTube channel under Ant Pruitt. I try to do some little highlight videos featuring a lot of these folks hanging out here. Some of their tips and tricks and explanations on how to make you a better smartphone photographer. And I'd like to do them in little short video clips, somewhere, 2 to 3 minutes, something like that. So be sure to check those out and subscribe. Thank you for everybody that's been watching this evening. Thank you to the members that joined us tonight. We will see you next week at about 9 p.m. Eastern, somewhere in that area. I will not be in attendance, but one of these guys here will be running the show, and everything will be just fine. If you're interested in joining the community, just let us know. We will do a somewhat background check on you to make sure you fit in with our community, because we do not deal with spammers. We do not deal with looky-loos. We like for people to share their shots, share their knowledge, share their tips and tricks to help make everybody better. That way people like me get a shot at winning a challenge each week. You know what I mean?
It doesn't happen often.
So, and speaking of the challenge, I'll figure something out and get that shared either late tonight or sometime tomorrow morning.
Yeah, make sure we can pronounce it.
No.
And
Find some obscure
Mike.
reference.
Mike, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. He's not at Deborah, so
I
That's
could
right.
say those words.
if he can't pronounce it, he's not going to put it up.
I'm probably going to make it watercolor. That's what I'll do.
as long as it's
No.
not like connections. Who can understand that mess, really?
That's
I have no clue what the heck-
interpretation. That's the
All this feel good fluffy business is no.
I'll figure something out. So just
How
stay
about-
Oh,
tuned.
so
How
you
about
want
this way?
something precise, like sharp end of the stick.
Sharp.
Or how about
stick.
my day at the range? How about
Yeah.
my day at the range?
Y'all are nuts. All right, folks. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate the viewers. I'm going to see y'all next week. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch you later. Peace.
That's funny.